in each one of those relationships that will make a difference. We can give and we can take in those relationships. Now, practice 1 was energy. Practice 2 that we talked about was our connections, our relationships that we have with others. Practice 3 is all about the influence that you show. What is the influence that you show with yourself in those areas? So I need some help here because I need a big, strong guy here and stuff on that side. A big, strong guy somewhere out there in the crowd that's willing to volunteer. Did I see you volunteer? This guy in the green there? Did I see that? Did you say yes? Didn't y'all see him volunteer? Give him a hand. I saw him volunteer. Now, I need one more. Come on up the steps here. I need one more volunteer. One more volunteer. Ma'am, there in the blank, did I see you say yes? Yeah, I thought I saw you say yes. I did too. Come on up. Give her a hand. Give her a hand. Right here in the center, sir. Thank you for volunteering. And your name? Keith Hinkey. This is Keith Hinkey, y'all. Okay. And here comes Susan Stegman. Let's give her a nice hand. Thank you for volunteering. Way to go. Okay, Keith, you're here. You're right here in the middle. You're going to get to show how strong you are.
All right.
Now remember, I have been pumping iron. I told you all that. I pumped iron today, asked Nick, and I was working on the arm, so you may be in trouble now. Now here's your job, is all you have to do is put out your arms like this, and I'm testing your manhood. You're not allowed to allow me to push those down. Now, your job is to make sure he's doing what he's supposed to right now. You'll have something else here in a minute, okay? So I'm going to try to push him down, but don't allow me to do it, okay? You ready? Set, go. Ding. He is kind of strong. Shoot. I didn't pick a weakling, darn it. Now, Susan, you come here right in the middle, and I want you to look him straight in the eye. Now, Keith, I want you to know she's going to tell you all false things about you. But she's going to tell you things she don't like. Sorry. But they're all going to be false, so don't worry. But she's going to tell you things that she doesn't like. Okay? But don't worry, they're false. But remember, she's going to tell you things she don't like. Okay? So for 30 seconds, I need you to look him in the eye and tell him things you don't like.
I really don't like your glasses. And I think you're really mean to people. You should volunteer more often. Because they really count on you for that, and the shirt color doesn't bring out your color. Like you should do something like more like red and different things, and your ears are kind of like out. And those shoes, I mean, really, could you have cleaned them up a little and stuff? Like, you know, really? And the jeans, you probably had those for a while. I like your hair and stuff. Maybe like you could marshal a little bit more often.
Receding hairline?
Yeah, probably. Yes, for sure. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know, the style of the shirts are now wearing collars up and stuff. So
Pretty big nose, too.
yeah.
Okay, let's see what we did. Put your arms back out. I'll let you scoot over. Don't let me push them down. Ready? No, come on. You're not even trying. Come on. Are you cheating? Want to try one more time? Okay, Susan, tell him all the things we love about this guy.
I love that I'm looking straight at you. Your perfect posture, and that color brings out the rosiness in your cheeks. And the glasses are very cool, actually. I really like the glasses a lot. And you look like you're getting some good sun already for this spring that we have right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And I love the shoes, by the way.
And isn't that color good on him?
I love
The
the
color
color.
just
Like I said, it
fits
brings it
perfect,
out.
yeah.
Exactly.
Brings out that complexion.
And I love your hair too, by the way. Yeah. And I like the heights and that everyone's look straight at you. So it's like nice to have a tall person to have a conversation with. So it's pretty cool.
Okay. Let's try one more time.
All right.
Now, come on. Ding! Come on, let's try it one more time. Give him a hand! Now, while they're up here, let me say, you see how our mindset is so strong? It's positive or negative. When we're talking about influence, it's the only time in leadership that you can show the negative side. You can really show your negative side by the words that you use. Were you trying to hold your arms up the first time when I couldn't pull them down?
I was.
Were you trying when for 30 seconds or whatever time it was, she told you all those false things about you?
I was.
You saw what the power of those words are. See how powerful our words are and our actions? I've done this hundreds of times with audience. I've only had one time an individual could block it completely out. See how strong our mindset is? When we believe we can, we can. So the question is, in influence, who are we influencing with our words and actions each and every day? Let's give our two volunteers a hand. Thank you, Bonnie. Thanks for doing it.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Susan's up here apologizing to him yet. I told him they were false. See how powerful our words are? So what I want you to take from this, in your relationships, if you want to influence others, what is the positiveness that you are giving to those individuals? You can be that powerful, positive influence. And our words do matter, as you saw just from that brief exercise. So what's that positiveness that you give? Each and every day, I think it's so important that we really change our wording, because our wording really sets us up for success or failure. I have a saying, and my kids are in the audience, and they'll tell you they hear it all the time. Before I leave them in the morning, if I'm there when they head off to school, I tell them to make it a great day. I don't say this, have a nice day. Because have a nice day means what? Not very powerful in the words, not very positive. But when you say make it a great day, who has that choice? They get to make that choice. And we each get that choice each and every day as we go forward. So in practice 3, when you look at your influence, how are you being positive in your actions and in your words that you share each and every day? Now let's look at practice 4. Practice 4 is all about integration. So it's the changes and the habits and disciplines we want to create in our life each and every day. So we have to look at that, what changes do we need to make? And then how do we go forward in making that? Let me give you an example. Charles Duhigg wrote a book called The Power of Habit. And in his book, he talks about the cue, the routine, and the reward. The cue is kind of that mental trigger that when you start a habit, it almost makes you automatically go into that. And then the routine is, once you create a routine of it, like if it's exercise or if it's brushing your teeth, you get into that routine, you just automatically do it. I always tell people, think about in the morning, how do you get ready to leave? I would bet 99% of us do it the same each and every day. I'm the type that I've got to brush my teeth first, then I got to shave, and then I've got to take a shower. Some people, it may be take their shower, brush their teeth, then get ready to go. We all become different. But I guarantee you, think about it. How many of us can think now that we do it the same each and every day? That's a habit because it becomes that routine. Let me share with you one of my habits. One of my habits is I get up and have a magic morning routine that I try to do most mornings. And what I do is I get up at 4:50 a.m. Yes, really, 4:50 a.m. And I get up, I wash my face, I drink 2 glasses of water to energize my brain, and then I go in, I do some reading, reflecting, and journaling. And it allows me that time then, that's my cue to get up, where I go, what I do each and every day. And then my routine is doing the reading, reflecting, and journaling. And then from there, it gives me that reward of a spiritual, emotional, and social vibrance. Kind of charging my battery. Remember what we talked about earlier? It allows my battery to be charged up for the rest of the day. So what's your cue? What's your routine? And then what's your reward on the habits that you want to create? Jerry Seinfeld was asked by a young comedian one time how he became such a great comedian. And Jerry Seinfeld told him, you must write material each and every day. And Jerry decided to make it a game of it. So what he did is he put up 100 squares on the wall. And each day, as he wrote, he would mark with a big red marker in red that he wrote that day. And then the next day he did it again. And he told the young comedian, he said, once you start a chain, don't break it. So if you did, he told you then you had to start over and start with a new marker color and do it again. And he had 100 squares on that. I've created a system called the Habit Maker that when I want to create a new habit, I don't do it on a wall, but I've got a piece of paper and I put that habit on and I keep track of it each day till it becomes a habit. My newest habit is, as of April 1, I've started writing, journaling again. I was not journaling as much as I wanted to, so I'm now journaling every day. And I'm trying to create that to become my habit over the next 90 to 100 days, but to do it daily each and every day. So what habit do you want to change? What habit do you want to create and make for your life? That's what the power of habits will do for you. Everybody stand up if you would. We're going to get you moving again. This game is not Simon Says, but I do need you to repeat after me. We're going to spell, hopefully most of you spell, but if not, I'll tell you, we're going to spell charge. So what I need you to do, I need you to do it well because this guy is filming you, okay? So we got to be loud. I want you to use your arms, and I want you, when I say give me a C, you're going to give me a C, and then an H, and we'll go forward, okay? Ready? Give me a C!
C.
Give me an H!
H.
Give me an A!
A.
Give me an R!
R.
Give me a G!
G.
Give me an E!
E.
What's it spell?
Charge.
What's it spell?
Charge.
What's it spell?
Charge.
All right. You can have a seat. Charge, for me, is a life sentence acronym kind of mantra for myself. Create habits around real goals every day. Create habits around real goals every day. I have a wristband. There's some out there, and if anybody wants one, we'll give you one when you walk out. You can have one. The wristbands are right there. But charge each and every day for what you want. I think that's really the key. When we're looking at our life, what do we want to create? It's about the goals that we set, and then it's about charging forward to go out there and reach them. Now, I want to share with you, excuse me. So when we think about those framework of the 4 practices, I want to cover those one more time so we don't forget what they were. Can anybody tell me what was the first practice? George, did you get it?
Charge.
No, what was the first practice that we talked about? What was the first thing we talked about? What was the first practice? Anybody got it? Energy. Energy had 2 parts, right? What was the first part of energy? Exercise. That's right. The second part was all about what? Being productive, productivity. Okay? So that's energy, practice 1. Practice 2 was what? It was all about our connections, right? It's about our relationships. Are we a giver or a taker in those relationships? And our third practice was our influence that we saw. And what did we see there? Our influence is either positive or negative. And it's shown by our actions and by our words that we use each and every day. And the last habit is not habits, it's actually integration. What do we need to integrate into our life to create that change to get the habits and disciplines that we want each and every day? Because when we create that charge, we allow ourselves to move forward. Now, in 1991, there was a gentleman by the name of Mark Musso with Special Olympics Missouri that was just coming here to become the CEO and president of Special Olympics Missouri. And he walked into my office to get a Novotel install phone installed in his vehicle. That was back in the days when you installed them. For anybody that don't remember that, you actually installed them at that time. So we installed that phone, and he told me what he did. Up till May of 1994, he kept trying to get me to attend a Special Olympics Games. And finally, I said in May of 1994, I drove to Fort Leonard Wood, and I decided to go down there. I'll have to admit, part of it was business, and part of it was to go down there for the games. We were thinking about opening a store in the area, and I thought I could do two things at once. So I go to that opening ceremonies that night, and the soldiers were cheering for the athletes each and every time as they paraded in for what they called the Parade of Athletes. And it kind of was like the opening ceremonies of an Olympics. People, they were clapping and cheering. The soldiers were yelling at the top of their lungs as the athletes were walking in. I'll never forget an athlete came up. He did the athlete's oath and said, "Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt." And then the rest of the opening ceremonies went on. And at the end of the ceremonies, they always light the cauldron. It's kind of the flame of hope for Special Olympics. And there's always an athlete and a law enforcement officer